Good morning, everybody, and welcome. Welcome to this magical journey. I'm going to take you today on a little journey where we're going to create the latest etheric oil mist. So the last oil mist creation was fairy manifesting magic, and several people have actually received that and really noticed some fantastic results just from spraying this mist. So I'm just going to give you a little background. So when I started working with oils properly, it was about 2 years ago, and I was using single oils just to help medicinally. The oils are really fantastic for medicinal purposes. I use them to help me get over my journey, my chronic fatigue in the past, which is now, it's gone now. I had fibromyalgia as well, and the oils really helped me. So I became very interested in how they would help me even more. And being that I work as a healer and a quantum creation expert, so I do lots of manifesting. I work with people's deepest, darkest corners, open them up and allow them to catapult into their next levels, open up their possibilities. And I use so many tools for that. One of them is oils, and the other is actually the sessions and different groups. So what I realized is having the single oils is wonderful, but wouldn't it be fabulous just to have a sprinkling and an activated oil mist that worked specifically for a purpose? And working with the fairy elementals really helps to bring in the magic to these oils. So as I go through this journey, please feel free to comment. I can see your comments, I believe. Please feel free to comment, ask me any questions. I'll be chit-chatting while I do it, and I'm going to take you on the journey that I take each time I create an oil. So the first thing which I always do, and I've done that already because I've created the space, is to actually invite my the angels in. I've already connected to source energy. Good morning, Sarah. Yes, so I've already connected to source energy, and one thing which is really important, those guys of you who do work with elementals, if you are working with fairies, they are very mischievous. So it's a really great idea to invite a protection, an angel protection circle. It's kind of like to keep the fairies in line a bit. I work with them a lot, but if you invite them in and you haven't set up your surroundings, you might find things disappearing, you might find belongings disappearing, that sort of thing. So just be aware, fairies are super amazingly powerful, and they have that little zing of mischief. So yeah, so I'm going to start. So I start with connection and with my angels, and then what I do is we actually now need to call the fairies in. So I use a koshi. Some of you have seen these before. There are 4 of them, each for each element. This one is a Terra, and I'm using a Terra, which is earth, because the oils are of the earth. So they're coming from trees, from flowers, from botanicals. So inviting those elementals in really helps. So what I thought we could do is, I've got beautiful, this is one of the things I do, a beautiful set of cards here. I was actually being drawn to create an etheric oil which will help us to release any self-saboteurs, any self-sabotaging behaviors, limitations, when we are wanting to upgrade our lives, to up level, to create greater, to expand possibilities. So it's slightly different from manifesting, because what it's going to do is it's going to allow you to release the limitations, any subconscious and unconscious behaviors, habits, things that you bring in. Hello there, Louina. Things that you maybe bring in to stop you in your tracks. So I thought that would be quite a nice oil, but I'd love to get any feedback from you guys if there's anything else that you particularly would like me to create. Just to give you along the lines of what I already have, I have created, I've got Enlightened Fairy, which is really helpful for meditation and uplifting. Fairy Joy, which is a joyous blend, it brings in a lot of lightness. Bohemian Fairy, which is a grounding spray. And there's lots of other things. I'll put all the descriptions on in the posts for you. And then these are my two beautiful new, oh, that's just one of them, my new manifesting sprays. So we've got Fairy Manifesting Magic, which is super amazing because it brings in stuff without you even doing anything, without even worrying about it. And then Surrender and Rise is if you've got a really weary soul. So if you've had a hard time this year, the Surrender and Rise is fantastic for that because it calms the soul down, allows it to relax, and allows you to rise up with great trust in the universe and source energy. And then I'll share the other ones another time. So I think that sounds good. Let's do a spray for up-leveling and releasing saboteurs. So I'm going to just close my eyes. I'm just going to ask for, oh, okay, I didn't even need to do that. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so my base oil, where I'm going to base my spray around, is based on optimism and spearmint. So this is what I do. I come in and I choose the base oil. This base oil is going to be the underlying emotion and feeling for the rest of the sprays, for the rest of the ingredients. So typically I will use 5 different ingredients, 5 or so, depends. Enlightened Fairy, for example, has got I don't know how many, but quite a lot of ingredients, and they are all super like really special oils, things like frankincense, myrrh, ascension oils, melissa. So depending on the oil, depending on the spray and what I'm wanting to bring in, the oils come in differently. So along with optimism, in order to release, so these ones are emotional cards. So what I do is I go through the different emotions. So I've got energy there, I've got gratitude, and I intuitively choose the emotions that would allow us to up-level, basing on optimism and spearmint. So I feel insecurity would be useful, definitely empowerment. So remember, overwhelmed. So remember, this spray is going to help you release. So courage, for example, very, very useful. Clarity. I generally put something in with love. Constricted. Low self-worth. Trust. Safe. So I'm just laying the cards out, and then what I do is I then hone in on what the oils that are related to these emotions are. And often, you know, on these cards there's more than one oil. Plus, just by allowing my intuition to come through. So for example, I've already got spearmint, so I can see that optimism is one of the base emotions and the other one is clarity here. So spearmint will go on there. Now I love using frankincense. It's one of my favorite oils. It goes really well with spearmint because spearmint is a light oil. Yes, so Charlie, clarity and courage. So courage, arbor vitae would be the one that I use for that, because I've got cinnamon, thyme and clove, and they're very, very, very strong, and they will overpower the spearmint and the frankincense. So where's my arbor vitae? So yeah, oh, okay, I think my arbor vitae is over there. Hang on, because I use arbor vitae a lot. Yep, there it is. So there's my arbor vitae. So I'm going to put that onto courage. So we know we've got 3 already. Okay, so that one I'm going to put there. And, oh, okay. So what I also notice now is the types of notes that I've got in the etheric spray. So I've got a light note, I've got mainly middle notes here. And for trust, we can bring in a lower note, an earth note, a woody scent. So I'm going to use some cypress for trust. And cypress is also love, so that's beautiful because you don't want too much in there. Cypress is also, oh my goodness, cypress, what an amazing oil. That's also constricted. Now some of you may be wondering what oils I use. I predominantly have doTERRA oils, but I do have others. So I've got some beautiful, I've got like a lemon myrtle, which I got from Australia, from the factory there when I went to Kangaroo Island. And I've also got some Young Living. Basically, I'm not generally, I don't mind, as long as they are organically produced, ethically sourced and sustainable. Those are my rules, and ingestible. So some of them are of such a high grade, I think they call them AA grade or something like that, where you can actually drink them, and I do that with frankincense regularly. Let's see. Oh, okay. Now, overwhelmed, Melissa has come up, or basil. Melissa is a very strong oil and tends to overwhelm all the others. So I'm going to put some basil in this one. And finally, oh, one of my favorites, which is going to be in security and self-worth, which is a bergamot. Bergamot is a citrus. It is a tree, a citrus tree. So that's the first layer. Now you can't actually see that. Let me just point this down a little bit so you can see. So what I've got here now is I've just literally got a whole selection of different oils. So next step is I will put them all together here. So these are my bases. I put them all together. I take all the lids off. So remember that our main oil was spearmint, so that's going to be the top note. So just take all these screw caps off. Please ask any questions that you'd like. Alrighty. Oh, that's lovely. Now, that's a very, very, very beautiful symphony here. What I'm missing is one particular oil, and I know, and spearmint is very, very light. Good morning, Liam. Yeah, spearmint is quite a light oil. So what I do now is I just lift the oil, the top note oils. Yep, that's better. And you're noticing I'm just actually holding and lifting it up slightly. That gives me an idea of how many drops I'm going to be using. Right, where's my bergamot? That's the next one I want to do a bit more of a highlight on. So I'm going to do that. Yeah, okay. So I know now the proportions approximately to create this oil. So as I bring the ingredients together, I've just laid my cards out, because I've got here my proportion of distilled water, and I've got vodka in here because that just helps the spray to evaporate. I only use natural things in there, so yeah, that just helps the spray to dissipate in the air. And the water actually has been infused and activated. This is actually sun activated, so I use moon water or sun water. This is sun activated, and this has had also rose quartz just infusing it. So I've got my different types of water as well that I use. So first things first, I'm going to start off with, so this is enough just for one spray, because of course I'm going to test this out before I make big batches, and then I write the proportions down on my little notebook here. So I'm going to start off with, I'm going to do 4 drops there. We're going to do 3 of bergamot, and then 2 each cypress, frankincense, arbor vitae, and basil. And I'm going to do 1 drop of basil because very strong. Okay. And then what I do is I just give that a little whiz. Yes, so that's beautiful. That's actually just about right. Okay. So what I've done is, just by choosing the different emotional aspects, I've created that spray. Now this is an etheric mist, which means it's an emotional spray, and of course all of these oils have medical components too. So different oils will help for different things. For example, arbor vitae, if I remember rightly, is really good in to help clear out infections and viruses. Basil also. Bergamot, very uplifting, also as a refresher for the body. Yes, it really is, Charlie. I love doing this. So I kind of sit here and just create. And this is just a very, very basic creation. As I said, often every time I'll also check the medicinal properties of the oils as well. Oh yes, see, now that's developing. So you'll notice I'm swirling it around. I'm always using glass. I never use plastic. I've just got it in a beaker. And I'm constantly swirling that around because it develops. Oh, and that's developing beautifully. Oh yeah, that's gorgeous. So I'm just gonna literally write that down because I had like 4, 3, 2, 2, 2, and 1, just so that I don't forget the proportions. Okay, so next stage is actually to activate and infuse it. So if you're on the call, you're going to receive these activations also. So we're going to download this oil, and all of you on the call, live or on replay, with the ability to release limitations easily and with grace, without having to go through the limitation in order to release it. So asking for those just to be lifted and unblocked. Any traumas underlying those limitations, we're going to ask for those to be resolved and to release any shock and trauma from the body. We're going to infuse this with unconditional love and download trust, support and safety in here. And again, for all of you out there live and on replay, so you can receive all of these downloads. We're going to release any instances, any beliefs around low self-worth, and raise your vibration to match high self-worth. We're going to relax all of the body's senses to release any overwhelm and to bring in peace and calm. And this oil is also going to open up avenues, channels, and pathways to optimism and possibilities. Any old patterns that you have used before to sabotage yourself, such as maybe sickness, such as drama, such as distraction, complacency, we're going to release all of those. Beautiful. And the final step is, when it goes into the bottle, is to actually go through the appropriate crystals, and they will surround. Yeah. Okay. I'm being drawn also to infuse this with a repair of broken heart. So anytime you've been heartbroken before, where you've tried to up level and things haven't worked out. So that's a rhodonium, I believe, I can't remember. And yeah. So now, so all of these crystals, by the way, these have all been cleansed and cleared and energized. So they're ready to go. We're just going to allow all of the properties that these, so I have intuitively picked these crystals because that's what the oil has asked for, okay? Okay, beautiful. So finally, that goes into the bottle and that'll be labeled up. This will be a prototype and I'm really excited to use this oil. Oh, that's got a lot in there. I'll be using that later. And now I'm just going to ask the fairies to give me a lovely name for this oil. Any ideas for a name, you can please put them in the comments. It's not been named yet. Oh, okay. Okay, so what came to me just then is Fairy Phoenix. And yeah, that's also, the name has also given a certain energy to this oil because it's a lovely gentle one, but it's also now got a bit of a whoosh with that name as well. So welcome to Fairy Phoenix, the newest addition to my fairy collection. So if you would like to order any of these oils, and Fairy Phoenix will go up in the next day or so on the website. Obviously I've got to just create that on the website, that will go up soon. Any of these oils, you can go onto my website, www.shirleyjoffe.com/shop. All of the oils and sprays are there. And not to forget, special promotion today is with every Fairy Phoenix or Fairy Manifesting Magic, you'll also receive a meditation. Yes, Fairy Phoenix rises. Love it, love it, love it, Charlie. Yeah, it's amazing. It's really, really stunning. Okay, so thank you so much for joining me. It's been absolutely wonderful. Please just put any questions. You can put them under this post. You can contact me on the market. I'll be around all day today. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you. And please tune in this afternoon for Charlie's live all about vegan, natural and ethical products. Charlie, what is the name of the products? Beautiful. Thanks, Liam. I hope you enjoyed that. Gorgeous. Tropic. Oh yes. Tropic skincare. And it is amazing. I have very, very sensitive skin, so I am going to be ordering some of this stuff because it's really, really gentle and kind to the skin, and of course kind and gentle to the environment. So thank you, lovely planet. Thank you, Earth. And how does it get better than that, guys? I will see you later on, and Charlie, can't wait. Bye, everybody.